Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing. Well, it might not be that quick because this is an all-in pledge for Robinson Crusoe. This is the recent Gamefound crowdfunding pledge. This is the all-in everything with the Sundrop miniatures. This is going to be super cool to dig through and see. Now, some of the stuff in this unboxing is from the original game. There's also stuff that was from some of the expansion Kickstarter stuff that has happened, but this is a reprint of absolutely everything plus all the new stuff that has been for this game. I would like to thank Colin. He was the one who was able to give me his pledge for this unboxing, but of course after this unboxing we're going to scoop it all, put it in that box and send it on back to Colin so that he can do a fantastic playthrough for everybody. He's really excited to dig into some of the new stuff that is part of this crowdfunding experience. Sadly, this game is no longer in my collection because it's a long story. For those of you that know it, my wife and I have played this a few times, and sadly, we have never won this, and it's brought us great angst in this house that we cannot win this game. I've tried to explain that it's more of the journey that you go on, but the angst of not winning continues. So this game no longer really exists in my house, so I'm going to be doing this huge unboxing and give it back to Colin. He's going to do some fantastic playthroughs, and who knows, maybe someday Hit and Miss might be able to get it to the table and give it a shot. For those of you that don't know what this game is, it is an adventure game, but it is a pretty difficult adventure game, and there's multiple scenarios. And so this game can be played many, many times with many different outcomes. And there's so many different scenarios and objectives in this game that the game it just has such a magnitude of wealth of gameplay experience to be had. I can hardly wait to show you everything that's in here. And it wouldn't be an all-in pledge if it didn't have like some spyglass things that we're going to dig through. It also is going to have some, what is this, Soul Sailor and Gamer Sundrop Pledge miniatures. It also has some cards for some of these things that are going on inside the game. And what else do we have here? Oh, let's sprinkle in some brand new awesome looking tokens. I believe these may be, now again, some of this stuff is from past Kickstarters that are crowdfunding experiences, and I believe some of this came with this kind of thing, but we're going to go through it all and see what's there. We have some extra dice. Let's throw those in there. And it wouldn't be an all-in pledge if it wasn't complete with a whole bunch of card sleeves that are just infinitely dropping from the sky. And of course you have to top it all off with an entire playmat. Why not, right? And then let's add in some extra scenarios that were complete for this Gamefound experience. And we even have some card dividers. And to top it all off, we have a Mystery Tales promo that we're not going to open because it is a sealed envelope. So I'm going to keep that one sealed. But this is all the stuff that we are going to unbox. This is going to be great. And let's just throw in some more card sleeves just for the heck of it. And if you're excited to see this entire unboxing of Robinson Crusoe buried by my playmat, then I need you to meet me at the table. The first thing I'd want to take a look at is the playmat. This is an entire playmat. It's not dual-sided, it doesn't have to be, because everything you need is on this side. This is where you're going to place your tiles when you're uncovering your map and whatever is part of the game. Then we have all the different card decks are going to go down here, if I remember right. Again, it's been a long time since I've played this game because this isn't something that my wife enjoys too much to play with me. You're going to have your beasts up here, your treasure deck, or your, it's like a treasure deck. I can't remember exactly what it's called up there. You'll have other cards that go up here. This could be where you put your players potentially. These are where you're going to put all your different projects that you could run. This is where your palisade's going to go. This is where you're going to put your resources. And over here, it has the strength of each of these and how much combat and stuff efficiency you're going to do. Over here, I believe, is the different weather systems that are going to affect your game as you're playing. And basically, it has everything you're ever going to need to play the game. It's all going to be on this playmat, which is super cool. The next thing we have is our giant core box. I'm going to lift this box off. Now, if you're interested in seeing a playthrough of this, Colin did a few of them over at One Stop Co-op Shop. You could check those out. Do not check out mine on Meet Me at the Table. It was an absolute disaster. Unless you want to see a disaster, you can check it out. It was a disaster. But like I said, Colin is going to be coming back to this game, so please wait. You'll see some awesome playthroughs coming out on Meet Me at the Table. This is the adventure in Robinson Crusoe. This is the core rulebook. Like I said, this is kind of an all-in pledge. So if you've never played Robinson Crusoe, I believe believe this is the type of pledge you want to pledge for if you want to experience the entire game. There were other pledges that would give you just the upgrades that this Gamefound experience is able to provide. Also, there's ones that would, not only that, they'll give you miniatures for it. There was all different types of pledge levels you could do, but this is the all-in everything pledge. This box does come with an introductory campaign guide that I believe is going to teach you how to play, starting with the scenario 1, moving into scenario 2, and things of that nature. And I bet each one of these will encompass a certain part of the game, so that you're learning as you go using these scenarios. That's really cool because this is a rather challenging game, so it's nice to be able to make sure you have all the ideas of how the game is played and potentially what the consequences are of doing particular things before you actually jump into the game and try it out. I think that that's one of the things about the game that made it so hard. Is it was hard to really grasp not grasp everything, but understand the nuances of what you should do, when you should do it. And that's kind of part of the deal. Here's the Gamefound exclusive content that you're going to be seeing in here. It shows some of the new player boards. They're going to be triple layered, which is going to be pretty awesome. It has a whole new miniature set for the camp and some miniatures for the game itself for the models. It has new adventure cards, new things, a new cave. It has rotten wounds. It has pirate maps. It has a whole bunch of new stuff, all built for this particular pledge. And of course, this entire Gamefound experience. Let's put those aside. And again, like I've said earlier, it's been a while since I've done this, so if I say something that's incorrect, I apologize, but here are some of these scenarios. There's a King Kong scenario. So like I said, it's not just all just going to be Robinson Crusoe. There are so many cool things. There's Cannibal Island, there is King Kong, there's Jenny Needs Help, there's Castaways, and on the backside, there's a whole bunch of new ones. Robinson Family, I believe this is one that Colin did over on the One Stop Co-op Shop, if you're interested in seeing it. They have Volcano Island. I think he did that one as well. They did the Cursed Island. There's so many different ones in here. These are just some of the ones. Now, I believe these might have been some of the original expansion ones that were made, and I could be wrong about that, and they're all like single-sided, dual-sided. You can just pull this out. I'm going to play this adventure. Boom, there you go, ready to go. On top of that, we have some stickers here. We also have some more stickers. These are going to go onto our different wooden things, and dowels that you'll see. I'll show you what those are, where you can, then you'll keep track of all the different pieces. These are going to be, it's kind of your workers for your worker placement part of the game is going to be these right here. We have a whole new set here, the wreckage tile will be placed. That could be something you can learn about it here for the rules, which is kind of neat. Here's one of the new tiles from this Gamefound crowdfunding thing. There is a whole tile for it that has a whole other bunch of tiles. Here's some weather placards that you can place out there. It doesn't tell you what it is, and that doesn't tell you what it is. Decrease the palisade level by 1. That's never good. You want that. You want everything in this game. You want everything to be going well, and nothing ever does. That's part of the deal. Here's the dice tower. Once it's all built, you can roll dice in it. I'm not going to build it right now. You can build that on your own. And now we're getting into some of the stuff that is originally from the core game, from, if I remember right. These are the original tiles from the game, and you'll be able to play them. These are going to be part of what you're going to do. On these tiles, you see a lot of different things. I'm going to try to remember if I can remember how this all goes. Like I said, it's been a while. The tiles are double-sided. The other side, you don't know what it is, so they're going to be placed out there. You're going to flip over a tile, and you'll be able to take advantage of what is on there. You'll be able to gain, for example, some treasures or some discoveries. These are going to be, you're going to be learning discovery tokens from these particular things. Other things you're going to see on these tiles are, these are the different terrain types. Also, when you go gathering, you can gather specific foods of that kind. You can go on hunts on some of these. There is some that are going to provide shelters, and then there are some that are going to be, these are going to be scenario specific things that could happen for you. And like I said, those are going to be some of the different tokens you can draw. And if I remember right, the discovery tokens are usually beneficial, if not always beneficial, but I can't remember exactly. So those are the tiles that you have. We also have counters for the game down here. We have some sack and basket tokens down here. These are some of the different wound tokens, depending on, you might get particular types of wounds, like say poison or something. You'll take those particular wound tokens. So we'll move on to some of the other tiles here that we have. There's some more up here. We also have our first player token up here. These are just to give you extra, like say you have +1 extra wood or +1 extra food. You have those tokens, either re-rolls. These are going to be for different, greater danger of some kind. On top of that, we have the 3 different type of adventure tokens. These are going to be our discovery tokens, as you can see on the back. And you're going to pick one of those, and you might get healing herbs, which means you'll be able to turn, if you have a pot, you can make this, or thorn bushes will give you this, one more towards your palisade, I believe is how that is. Or if you have large leaves, you can prevent the rain from hurting you, which is absolutely fantastic. We also have the weather tokens up here. So that's really about it for the punch boards, which is kind of cool. Here's the volcano that you're going to use for that one particular scenario called Volcano Island. And I forgot about the determination tokens that are found all over this. These are used, I believe you can use determination to reroll dice vibrate or something of that nature. Next, we have the scenario book. This is an introductory campaign book. This is a warm welcome to Tamatoa. Okay, this looks like it'll be something again to be able to help you when it comes to learning how to play the game. And this even looks more easy to follow than it does for the other one we saw earlier. So we'll put this one aside. And the next thing we have are all these awesome miniatures. Take a look at these things. This is the full Sundrop pledge. So this does have all of the wash that is normally put on this thing. Look at these things. These things are amazing. These are you're going to be using in place of the pogs that they come with. Normally you're going to be able to perform 2 worker actions a turn most of the time, so that's why there are 2 of the same miniatures. So if you're using this particular character, you would have both these miniatures, and then you'd be able to put them in the 2 places you wish to do your actions for that turn, or you can put them both in the same place. And that's one of the things about the game you have to decide. Do you want to do more things on your turn, potentially maybe bringing something bad back to the camp that could affect something later on in the game, or do you want to put them out in the same place, preventing things from potentially hurting you in the long run, but making it a lot harder to get through the game because you're not going to be able to do as many things in a turn. Here is the palisade. This thing is absolutely awesome. This thing is just going to go right out here. Look at this thing. This thing is going to be amazing. I bet this thing all fits together. Yes, it does. It fits together just like that. So as you're building it, you're able to build it out and put it there. These things must all go together as part of the palisade. Maybe this thing they must all fit together, don't they? They have to fit together. This thing has to be looking awesome in the end. Let's see if I can figure it out without looking at the book. This will probably take me absolutely no time at all to figure out, and then I won't figure it out and I'll be like, oh, I'm stumped. I don't know what I'm doing. So it looks like these are going to work together. There's one last piece here. I think this thing kind of fits in here like this. This is going to form part of your area here. Of course, I want to make sure I put it in correctly. Oh, there we go. So that's going to fit in like that. Oh, look at this. It's going to fit in there just like that. And then you can put the other pieces in there, I think, as well. I think some of these fit in here. You have this thing might fit in over here, or maybe it fits over here or something like that. These I think are all going to kind of fit in here maybe. Yeah, maybe not. They don't fit in. Oh, this guy fits in here. Maybe, nope, doesn't fit in there. I see these 2 little bumps. I figured something would fit in there. But, oh well, something, anyway, it's going to look cool once I figure out how to build it, but it kind of sits up there. It looks awesome. I'm pretty excited about that. Now, this, I think, is the little camp piece that you get that you're going to be placing out on the board somewhere when you're actually just kind of building camps. And, of course, your city is, or your area is just going to start small, but it'll continue to grow as you go forward. So it does have, so that's why there's all these little pieces for it. It doesn't just start out as one big giant thing. It's going to build as it goes, which is going to be super cool. Now, on top of that, we also have some other pieces here as well. Some of these are going to be people that join you. It could be, or if you're playing one player, you could have like a dog as part of your other companion, and then you can play as a solo player in this game. It looks like they have some tokens here that are going to compass tokens. I'm not sure what exactly they're for. They have looks like a donkey up here. Now, again, some of this could be for specific scenarios going forward, but those are the miniatures. And I do like the fact there's a little groove over here so you know which way those spiral bound books are going to fit into this. Now, there's the board. I don't need to show you this. It is exactly like the board they have here. Now, one thing I want to do is I was talking about weather over here. That's not the weather. These are the stages of the game. It starts up here, and you're going to go through all these different parts of the game. There's the different stages for the game are all found over on this side. I think I said they were the weather. That's not the weather. The weather is actually found all the way over on the other side over here. Maybe it's going to be close to where I can show you on the board. Yes, right down over here. This is kind of where your weather stuff is going to take place. So that's on the other part of the board. But we already have the playmat down there, so we don't need to put the board out in order to see it. It's already there. Then we have our characters. Now, these are going to be, as you see, they're nicely inlaid, so the little tokens aren't going to go all over the place. This is where you're going to track your health and the type of actions you can do. Everybody does have some extra little abilities they can use with their determination tokens. That's what they're for. I couldn't remember exactly. You can discard determination to do different things on these boards. That's what you can do. And like I said, everybody's a little bit different. And on top of that, they have a male and a female side of the board. So you can choose whichever side you want to be for the game. And there are 4 different base game characters. There's a cook, a carpenter, explorer, and a soldier. On top of that, they have what is this? Oh, this is a round summary. It tells you everything you need to know. So it goes through all the different rounds that you saw. So that's why they have these symbols up here. Here's the event phase, the moral phase, production phase, action, weather, and night phase. You'll see all that in play on the playthrough coming up soon. Or if you want to go check out the playthroughs that Colin has already done, I'll link them in the description of this video. But like I said, I'm not going to link mine. If you want to search for it and find it, that's fantastic. You can watch it if you want. It was so brutal. These are going to hold a lot of the chips and everything that we've already have punched out. Now, there's a lot of empty space in this box because from what I understand is everything you saw in all of the other boxes and everything that you saw flying around is all going to be able to fit into this box. So you're going to have one box for this game. There's a whole bunch of tokens up here. These are the tokens you're going to use for your players. These brown, yellow, and things, and these orange. These are going to be this. You're going to put like the cook stickers on these or the soldier stickers on these, and those are going to be what you use for your workers. But I don't need to because we have all those super cool miniatures. We also have some smaller tokens, black, white, and blue ones, and those are going to track certain things that are taking place in the game. Then we have, like I said, we have those different tokens for our resources, but we do have the upgraded stuff, so anything that had to do with wood, we could use these. We have food right here as bananas. We also even have bread as some of them, and we have a campfire token, and we even have a camp, like a starting camp token as well that we can move around on the board. Here's our heart tokens that we're going to use for our character boards. They're going to be in the inlays, and this will be moving up and down. And we have some fur tokens, I believe is what these are. Now, the one thing we don't have is it didn't come with any of the seashells or this. I think these are just specific for specific scenarios. So those we don't have upgraded tokens for, but that's okay. We also have two different sets of dice. These are the ones that come with the game, and these are the upgraded dice. They have like a cooler symbol on them with the black with the heart on it instead of the heart green with the black heart on it. So it's kind of neat. Now, they are the same die. I don't think there's going to be any difference in those. Our weather dice is a little bit different. So basically, they have the black background with the colors on them, where these are the actual colors of the dice. And these are going to be used when you decide to do certain, grab certain cards, and I'll show you them in just a second. Let's grab some cards, and that way I can kind of explain how the dice work. When you go out onto the board where the tiles are, you're going to choose the type of action you want to do. Say you want to do an explore action. You're going to roll that explore die, for example, and if you get a question mark, you're going to have to deal with one of the cards as part of your consequence. And it says here, a storm on the horizon. So you only read the top part. The storm is fast approaching. Shuffle this into the event deck. So you're going to shuffle that into the event deck. Shuffle, 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 which is going to be these cards right here. And there's going to be a certain amount of them for each scenario. You're going to shuffle those in, and if it pops up again, you're going to turn it over, and this time you're going to read the bottom of this card. And I'm going to be spoiling this card. It's not the end of the world. There are so many cards. It's not the end of the world. This one says that the storm is here and the night will be difficult. We're going to have to put this on the weather space and draw another card. Oh no, we're going to have to deal with that. So, but if we were to put two characters there trying to explore, we may not have had to roll the die and we might not have had to deal with this. And of course, we might not have to deal with this if it gets shuffled so far down, we would never have to worry about this card. So there's a really cool, that's one of the greatest things about this is like the whole dice and push your luck mechanic that is part of this game. If you don't push your luck enough, you're probably not going to make it out. But if you push it too much, you might add too many of those cards to your event deck that make it really, really tough to get through the game. Of course, some of the other dice you're seeing in here are going to be for weather. So when a certain weather dice needs to be rolled, you'll roll that and have to deal with the consequences. Same with this one. This is like a danger die or a fight. Or an enemy might come, or the monster, or not a monster, but a lion might show up, and he might try to break down your palisade a little bit, or he might do 3 damage to you. So you're never going to know what's going to happen when you're fighting some of those monsters. It's the dice, or I shouldn't say monsters. There's not really any monsters. It's more like beasts. Beasts is the right word. There are also some mystery cards. This is just a few of them. These mystery cards are either going to be potentially treasures, they could be traps, or they could even be creatures. So like we found a strange disease. Oh no, we found a trap. Or if you're going through this, you might find something else. I know there's going to be some other, like there's treasure, you found a saber. Or for example, you might find a beast. Oh no, a ferocious tiger. We have to fight a beast with a 4 attack. Where then we're going to have to check to see if we have enough resources to be able to defeat that beast by using potentially, maybe we have the saber. Maybe we have the saber. The saber is going to give us where is it? Let's find the saber again. The saber is going to give us, keep this card. Each player fights a beast. They can use it to temporarily get +3. And when you use the saber, you get 1 heart. Okay. So, I mean, those are things that are going to be able to help you. Plus, you can craft things in this game. You could craft potentially a spear or something. And that particular card will be found in the smaller cards section that has to do with like some of the beasts and the other items and equipment. These, I believe, are some of the starting equipment. You get like a pistol, but here, I think down in here, there's got to be there's a spear. Like I said, you could craft a spear, and the spear is going to give us +3, and it costs a knife and a wood to be able to create this spear. And here's the knife. In order to create the knife, you have to be in the mountain region. So if you're in the mountain region, you can choose to do the craft action that is going to be able to give you the ability to create that knife. Then you can bring it back. And these cards, a lot of these are going to be sitting, so if you want to make the map, for example, it's going to be sitting out over here. So you've learned the ability to make a map, but you have to figure out where to do it. So once you go to a particular, once you uncover something that has that particular terrain, you could learn how to make a map. And then once you make it, you can turn it over and it'll show you kind of what it does. And then it will help you out. But that's kind of the cool thing. That's one of your workers. You're going to put it out there to learn how to make a map, and they'll have that map. Just to show you how many cards there are, these are going to be wreckage cards, but then look at all of these event cards that are in here. Then it's going to move into some of those. There's like 52 different mystery cards that could potentially be traps, treasures, or beasts. Then we have, it looks like 30 different explorer cards. Those are one of the ones I showed you. Now, they also have one for gathering. So if you go to gather some of the resources, if you try to put 2 people there, you don't have to worry about the dice potentially having to deal with a card. But of course, that limits you the amount of actions you could do. Then we also have the different type of build cards as well. So if you go to build that map, then you're going to have to potentially deal with something that could be out there while you're building it, which could be pretty cool. Some could be good, some could be bad. I'm going to guess 95% of these are bad, maybe 99 are bad. There is a whole deck that's built on the tutorial. So it'll teach you everything you need to know with this potential deck of cards. It has everything you need, and this will teach you how to get through those original scenarios. Then there are so many other cards that I'm not even really sure. These I think are going to be scenario specific cards. On top of that, there are cards that are going to be related to monkeys and Friday. Friday, I believe, is one of the characters you can play with if you play solo. He's going to be one of the extra characters that gives you a chance to do something. They have horses and parrots and cats, oh my. Again, there's so many other cards here, more events, more different gathering and building and exploring cards that you can have potentially in the game. Now, these might be this might be part of an expansion that was part of the original game that you can add into your game, or it might be stuff that's specific to a scenario. Now, other than these card dividers, that's about everything in this box. Let's take a look at one of the other ones. Next, we're going to dig into the Robinson Crusoe Mystery Tales. Now, the first thing we saw was kind of the updated core box. This is one of the expansions, and I believe this is just a reprint of what has been there before. It has the rule book. Now, from what I understand, this is you can potentially add a small campaign to the game, and it has individually standalone scenarios. So, for example, I believe this is going to be the campaign type booklet that goes along with it. I could be completely wrong. We do have the Lost City of Z, yep, a campaign book. So it does start with like you're supposed to do the arrival, and then I think you go through all these different missions on this campaign, which is pretty cool. I don't want to spoil too much of that. They do have some standalone ones. They kind of a horror mode is what they call it. They have In the Belly of the Beast, which is a new scenario that you can do that is part of this. The next thing we have is, of course, all of our punch boards, and these are going to bring unique things that you can, I believe, add to the game, and you can also use them with the campaign that goes along with this. But there's no reason you couldn't be able to use, I think, some of these in your original core game. So we're going to open this up and take a look. The first set of tokens we have are going to be some of the character boards that go along with this expansion. We have a few of the tiles up here. We have some of the tokens that you get when I forget what they're called again already, but these you want. There's some stone tokens, some torch tokens, as well as some paint tokens up here. And we also have amulet tokens. I'm not exactly sure what those are for. Now, I did notice with the tiles, you can't use these in the core game because you'll know what they are. They're dual-sided exactly like that. So I apologize for misleading you. These might be only used for this particular campaign. Along with the characters, they have a special sanity track now, and I don't think any of that is used in the core game, but it is cool to have this whole standalone scenario where you can have this neat little campaign to go along with it. Now, I've never played this game before, but I believe these are going to go on top of the different gathering cards or the exploration cards, but they're called Madness tokens now. And we have a few other tokens here, but look at all these neat new tiles. Now, on the back, they have like a more horrifying looking experience. This game also is going to shift up some of the core mechanics of the game. So we have different places for when we go on hunts, and also different places when we go for the gathering. It's based on the concept of the horror game that's found inside this game. On top of that, we have some defense tokens, defensive painting tokens, I should say, up there, which probably is why you use the paint. Now, the characters themselves are built like this, so as you see, there's different colors. You can still use the pogs from the original game for worker actions when it comes to this specific campaign. Now, we'll go through some of the stuff in here. I'm not sure if I can go through too much of it without spoiling any time of the campaign, I don't think. Here's some more of the pogs that you can use for those characters. So if you don't, I guess you don't need to use the core ones. You've got yours right here. I am totally failing in this unboxing. We do have some stickers. This is going to go on one of the dice. I believe you put the stickers on the die, which is kind of interesting. These are going to be the trackers that are going to be used inside of the game for the characters' different attributes that you saw. Now, I don't see the die in here. Oh, I see what you do. I think you use these on one of the dice that you already have in the game, and then you just re-sticker this. Then they probably could come off and you could use them again, or there are so many dice, you could probably just keep one as this particular die. Now, there are a bunch of cards. These are going to be the same type of cards that you saw in the other one, but they're going to be stuff just specific for this expansion. I'm not sure if I want to show them due to the fact there is a campaign in here, and I honestly have no idea what would be for that and what wouldn't be for that. So I would hate to show you a bunch of cards that could potentially spoil a campaign that somebody may be playing through at one point when they want to play through the Lost City of Z. So that's really what's in here. I apologize, I can't show too much of it, but I'll be able to show you more of the next box, which is going to be I think it's called our adventure box, or no, it's called the treasure chest. Let's take a look. This particular expansion came with one of the expansions for the game, so that you could get this with potentially some of the core game that you're from one of the previous prints of the game. We have in here the introduction and all the things that go with it. It brings so many new things that you can add to the game. I think this stuff you can all add to it. There's nothing you can't add to it, I don't think. I think this can just enhance the entire part of the game. They have additional mystery cards. They have the ability to start searching the beach, secret traits that you can put on your characters. I think this is part of it. You can upgrade your shelters to different things. They have new characters that you can add. You have the gamer or the sailor. We'll see how that kind of plays out. And they have a few new scenarios that you can play through. So here's the punch board. Again, they have more discovery tokens. That's what they are, I think, if I remember right. We have the spyglass. Now, I believe the spyglass might have been a promo that had taken place a long time ago. And the interesting thing about this, if I remember right, oh my gosh, I think they even changed it again. Check this out. Enough starting at an empty horizon. No ship will ever reach you. It's time to stop living in on illusionary hope. Darn spyglass. Break the spyglass in half to gain 5 tokens. These are those advantage tokens that you can use. Inspiration tokens, I think. Determination. Oh my gosh. Terms are tough. Determination tokens that you can use on these. So you get 5 of those. Additionally, after the game, record breaking the spyglass by posting the hashtag darn spyglass on Twitter and join the group of players who broke their spyglass too. So these are spyglasses that you can break and start the game or gain those during the game. Super fun. Really neat. I love that concept. I don't think I've ever broken a spyglass. I don't think I've been on Twitter, which I think is called X now. No, it's still Twitter, right? No, is that the X thing? I think it's called X now. But anyway, here's the gamer and sailor characters. So they have their own, there's 2 new characters you can play with. On top of that, they have more spyglasses that you can do. They also have a herb pen and herb garden, or herb garden and a pen, which is kind of cool. Here's another volcano piece that you can use. The volcano tile gives a little bit more to it instead of it just being the volcano from the original core game. It has some new things that you're going to be able to add to the shelter depending on where you are that you build your shelter. So it gives you a new, that kind of just enhances the game a little bit, which I think is kind of cool. It has a bag to hold things, which is awesome. Then it has, oh yeah, that's right, it has new fish and parrot meat that you can have. It has some tokens for the characters that you can put their stickers on here. Now I'd have to look again if the core game had those characters already made in the game. I think they do, and if not, they're probably going to be, nope, they're going to be right in here in the Sailor and Gamer Sundrop Pledge. So let's open this and take a look at these particular characters, because this is going to be awesome, because I'm excited to see what they do with these. I really, because normally they have all been pogs in the past. So it's interesting to actually see these in action with actual characters in them. So we do have the gamer, and this is going to be one of the inlaid boards. So they do have the inlaid boards for these characters. And again, like they can have a male or female side depending on what you want to play as. And here they are. Oh my gosh, look at these. Sailor and Gamer people. Sorry about the glare on that. But here's one of the gamer figures. He's carrying around 2, is it batteries or is it groceries? That'd be awesome if they're batteries, but I think they're books. I think they're gaming books and switches and things like that. And here's the other gamer character carrying around a laptop, I bet, or something that they can play games on. I don't see why you wouldn't. Nice little camera there that they can take pictures of. Here is one of the pirate miniatures. Pirate, now I believe they look really similar to what is on those cards, which is super cool. Yep, it does. It almost looks exactly like what is on these cards. They did a really good job of representing those. Oh, this is a con badge, I bet. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. It's a con badge. It even said con on it. Oh my gosh, he's got a con badge too. No way. How did I not ever see that? He's got a con badge on there. Oh my gosh, that's going to be awesome. Wow. Just like when you go to Gen Con, you get a con badge. That's awesome. Which Colin and I will be at Gen Con. So if you're interested in seeing us, we'll be at Gen Con. Come and say hi to us anytime. We'd love to hear from everybody. Let's see what else we have in this box. Some more cards. And we have, here are the new scenarios that you can play that are part of this expansion. The first one we have is time travel. We also have a treasure island. Then on the back we have poachers and we have Never Never Land. Now here is a funny story about this game. My wife and I have played this many times. We have never won. It was so hard to win this game. And then all of a sudden we won our first scenario. We were so excited we won the first scenario. My wife goes, I can't believe it. We won Neverland. That's amazing. Wait, what's that? Wait, it says junior down here. It says junior. We beat a junior scenario? I'm like, hey, at least we beat a scenario. She would then again, more disappointment came with the game. So we have not had positive experience with this game, so it's one of the reasons it does not exist in my house. But maybe after all these cool things coming out, we might be able to bring this back. The time travel one looked really cool. I think this is the one I tried playing. If you want to see a complete debacle and mass chaos that happened in that, please go check it out. There we go. Those are over to the side. We have some cards again. I'm not really going to go through these. These are just going to enhance and add to the entire core game experience. It's all the different cards there. These are the stickers that go on the pogs. These are some of the letters. I'm not sure what they're for. I think they're for one of the scenarios, maybe for like the time traveling scenario or something, but it's kind of cool that they have this kind of stuff. Oh, they have the Dr. Livingston. That's right. They had a whole newspaper here, a newspaper for one of the scenarios. I bet that's the time traveling or the poachers, one of the two. Oh no, this might be the poachers one. But anyway, it has some neat backstory and things that go along with the particular missions that you're playing, which is kind of neat. Okay, so that's the treasure thing. And of course, we got to check out the Gamer and Sailor miniatures. The remaining things we have is these are going to be special roof tiles and special weapon tiles that you can use in the game if you wish to. These are going to be things you can use. So I could use like blood scent, which is going to be used in a tile like that to learn it. Once I learn it, I'm going to gain this ability down here that's going to help me to hunt dogs, fox, gorillas, and bears, which will help me kill them, but I'm going to get fewer resources from them. And that's what each of one of these types of things are. On top of that, you're going to be able to gain a random type of roof tile, and it's going to be, each one of these is going to have a little bit different that you can do with it, I think is how it works. Or it's just for cosmetic. Actually, it looks more like it's cosmetic than anything else. Don't really see much of a difference, except for I guess the colors of these here. So that's about all the differences in those, but that's a neat little expansion thing that came with it as part of the crowdfunding. This pledge also came with 5 more spy glasses that you can break, and this time it actually has a QR code for it, which is kind of cool, so you can just instantly do it right on top of there. The other thing we have is 3 new mini expansions. These will replace the cards in the game, so there are ones for each of the different actions you can do in the game. So for example, say you play the base game enough, you can be like, you know what, I'm going to use these instead of the other Explorer actions, or instead of the Gather actions, or the Craft action. It's not called the Craft action. Then we have different event cards. So this completely changes what that island is going to feel like when you're out on there. So say you do an Explorer action and you roll one of these, you'd have to deal with this card as opposed to one of the ones. Just deserts. The last treasure you found included all the ingredients you'd need for a long-awaited snack. I get to gain one of these for each treasure in the green stack. So if we had treasures, which must be having to do with treasures, I don't see why not. It's a pirate expansion. You gain that kind of thing. And there's going to be all these different, so these are all brand new cards that you can use in the game to make a whole new experience. That's absolutely, I'm really excited about those because that can really change up the way the game feels. Now there's one more thing to show. Well, there's 2, but I'm not going to show one of them. Here's one. We get a lot of these new small cards, and those are going to be all specific to all the different adventures that are now found in this book. Take a look at this book. This is also incredible. This is going to add so much gameplay experience. It's going to be amazing. This adventure book now is going to give you, look at this, a whole bunch of new and already pre-existing, I believe, campaigns that you're not campaigns, sorry, adventures that you can go on. And they have the difficulty here for each one of them. Oh my gosh, look at these. These are absolutely amazing. And or if you want to say, I want to play a standard game. Okay, fantastic. Here you go. Or based on length, I want a long game. All right, I want to play one of those. I want to play something that's more in an eerie game. So I could play one of these type of things. And it has all these treasure islands. So we've seen some of these. Adventure in Neverland. We have Castaways. This is one of the ones on the beach. You have to create a fire and try to keep it going in time. And I found out that when you create the fire and everything's great, you still have to get to the end of the turn, and that's when we died. We also have the Cursed Island, but look at all these. Jenny Needs Help. These are all pre-ones. Mother's Sick, Drawbridge, Cursed Island, Jenny Needs Help again. Now, of course, these I believe are the small chance, so these are going to be a different challenge to you. Belly of the Beast, the Cannibal Island one, Family Robinson is back, King Kong, Poachers, Time Travel. Here we've seen these before. Treasure Island, Neverland again, Challenging Neverland. We've got the Castaways again with a small chance to make it through here. So they really changed the game up by giving you all these new ways to be able to play the game. Then the old world, a whole new thing. We got an old world, Waves of Living Corpses, Pearl Hunting. I mean, look at these. Shapeshift Island, Volcanic Island. We have all these new and redone scenarios. Lost Memories. That looks like a pretty eerie scenario if you ask me. Experiment on Dinosaur Island, which is super good. You have no chance of getting through this one. Some of these, again, look like they are ones from we've already seen, but I believe they're going to change the way the whole game is played based on the way you want to have the challenge in your possession here. Sin King Land. These are, oh my gosh, this is, again, I really feel like I want to dig back into this. Cloudy with a Chance of Chupacabra. Oh no. And then here's those pamphlets and stuff from one of the expansions we saw earlier that you can have. And here's the Cat and the Parrot cards. We have, again, those different cards that we had in, I think it was the treasure chest one, or was it in the Mystery Tales? I forget which one. But we have some of the stuff that goes along with those particular missions. Okay, so this is awesome. Look at, there's so many you can choose from. Now, of course, like I said, some of them are duplicates, but they're probably gonna have a different challenge level. And on top of that, don't forget, you can always add these cards to the base game now to make this new old scenario that you've played many times completely new with awesome cool cards. So, oh my gosh, this is sweetness. Of course, these are all, I believe, scenarios specific to some of the scenarios that are in here. So there you have it. That is Robinson Crusoe, the Cursed Island adventure game. This game is super fun. Like I said, it will be coming to Meet Me at the Table again. Colin will be doing maybe not only one, but maybe multiple playthroughs after he sees this book of amazing stuff that you can do. I'm really pumped. I almost want to just put this right on the table. Well, it already is on the table. I'm just going to open it up and start playing it right now. I'm super pumped for a lot of the new things I've seen in this. Now, if you enjoyed this unboxing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you know when content for Robinson Crusoe, the Adventures of the Cursed Island comes out, or of course anything else we do. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comments below. Have you played a lot of Robinson Crusoe? And if you have you tried any of the new stuff that has come now with this new crowdfunding experience? If you'd like to help support the channel, please feel free to join the Patreon. The link to that is in the description of this video. Those that have joined the Patreon are shown here on the screen. Thank you so much for your patronage. It does mean the world to me. Our Patreon supporters get a few perks. One of them is they get to watch our playthroughs usually about a day or two ahead of time without any commercial interruptions. Also, when it comes to the types of games and characters used in the games, we do let our Patreon supporters help us decide who gets to play in the games and how to influence the games going forward. That way it gives them a chance to be able to interact with the game along with us. So there you have it. That is Robinson Crusoe Adventures on the Cursed Island. There is so much new content with this game, and you're going to see it on Meet Me at the Table. So if you're excited to do that, well, I guess then I need you to meet me at the table. Nothing like saying it twice.